Duke Traps, America's best trap value, proudly presents North.
Welcome to North American Trapper today. I get the opportunity to head to the Adirondacks in New York with Eddie Dakin, who is the former trapping partner of Johnny Thorpe. And ultimately, Eddie said to me, he's like, hey, you want to come up and, go after some critters with me this year on Johnny's old line? And I said, absolutely. So we're heading up this week and we're going to go after the Fisher. And the Fishercat's really a cool animal to me. It's basically a 20-pound weasel, a 20-pound killing machine. I've actually heard stories where they can actually go out on a limb and take a turkey right off the roost, and ultimately they're a predator. They are a top predator, and being able to go out there and go after them this week is just really enjoyable for me, and I think you're going to enjoy this show a lot.
This is a place that Johnny and I used to trap together, and it's a good cedar forest, and I'm going to show you a running pole. This is something that Johnny used to like to make, running pole sets, and I fashioned my running poles after him. I started using these stabilizers, and they're great. They're not heavy, and your trap sits there really nice. I'm using the same running poles that we've used for years. Funny how Fisher after Fisher, generation after generation, will use the same running poles. Here in New York, the animal cannot be suspended. So one part of that animal, even if it's 1 inch of tail, has to be able to touch the ground. Like that. And the minimum height in New York for bait off the ground is 4 foot. I straddle the tree whenever possible like this. And when you put that on the stabilizer, you're going to feel the pressure. So you got to exert a little pressure, flip that latch over. When you take these safeties off, make sure you're behind that in case that thing springs and shoots forward and hits you in the face. So I guess it happened to him enough times where he stopped doing that, like that. I try to keep everything as natural as possible. And I like that. I like the way that looks. The last thing I do is add a generous amount of skunk. And don't be afraid to use the skunk. Being too loud, it'll attract them. And if you got time, like I do sometimes too, this skunk, this bait will attract other animals, coyotes, fox and stuff. And I'll a lot of times put a dirt hole in somewhere else in the area. Just to finish, I wanted to mention that the diameter of your running pole should be the same width as your conibear, as a rule of thumb. That so the animal won't run around it or up at the behind it, and clear off any limbs that he can use to climb up there. And make sure there are no other trees leaning against the running pole that he might use as a ladder to get to that bait.
The Trapper of the Week is Jake Sheik with an awesome triple-on coyote taken in Davie County, North Carolina. Congratulations, Jake, and get your chance to be Trapper of the Week by visiting us at NorthAmericanTrapper.com.
Handling nest raiders is our specialty, and you can become the steward of your own land with our North American Trapper scent package, which includes our Coon Buster DP bait and magnet trailing scent. Our sweet scented trailer will draw them in, where our Coon Buster will then take over, and its soaked crawfish essence will entice those nest raiders to work the trap consistently. Look no further than our North American Trapper Combo scent package for all your predation control needs. North American Trapper. Proven products. Proven conservation.
Welcome back to Duke Trap's presentation of North American Trapper with Alan Probst.
We're up here in the hemlock forest. We're up a little bit in height here in the mountains. It's a warm day, warmer than I like, but we did have a snow that recently came through, and that got the Fisher running. Okay, so we're going to get a little closer to this guy. Whew. I like the angle of that running pole right there. That's the angle I like, and it's not too far off the ground, but he's got to be able to touch the ground, and that is a beauty. Really nice fur. And that's the way I like to hit him too, right over the skull. I don't like to suitcase him. So, yeah, he's nice. He didn't bother him long. Nice big male. I'm using beaver carcass from a nuisance beaver job and a little skunk essence. That's what I got on there. So we'll get this fisher out of here and we'll make the reset. I've trapped this area before. There's snowshoes in this section of wood. It's pretty dense. It doesn't have to be this dense for fisher, but it's always been good to me. So that's why I'll take turns 1 year on, 1 year off, setting it so as not to hurt the population too much. It's a beautiful fisher. And this is an old Northwoods trap I'm using. I've had him for a long time. That is a nice fisher. Really nice. That is a nice big male. It's heavier than I thought. Whoa, he's a beauty. Sadly, he won't bring the money they used to bring. But boy, that's a nice silky fur. Big male. Yep. I love to collect the scent glands off these too. Boy, there's no better lure than fisher glands, I'll tell you. Really nice. We'll reset this 220 Northwoods I'm using, and you notice I talked about earlier, I'm a big believer in these KB stabilizers because this tree is still alive and it'll be here a long time. And I can use it over and over again. I always have my triggers to the front. I like to hit them right in the head as soon as they come through. Just like that. Make sure your safeties are on. It can be a little strenuous. There it is. Now before you take them safeties off, those springs, as I mentioned before, step behind the running pole just in case that thing fires and shoot forward. Something Johnny was very adamant about. Okay, we're gonna use these pine boughs to camouflage the trap again. Like I said earlier, I kind of make a cubby around the trap and the carcass so the birds don't eat up too much of the bait too soon. We're coming into another spot I've trapped many times over the years. It looks like we got ourselves a nice female fisher here. Caught him in a dirt hole set, and that's kind of like the norm. I try to prepare for coyote, fisher, fox, but looks like a nice little female. This is a dirt hole set that I've made for coyote, but fully expected to catch a fisher here as well, especially in the early part of the season. We're on the side of a big mountain here with a spring running through it. Fisher love to go through these hemlocks, and they'll follow those springs looking for little frogs and little animals, whatever they can find. Any old growth forest like this is just great for fisher. And standard dirt hole set, and I use mild lure, a little bit of skunk essence. This part of the Adirondacks it's pretty remote, and there's a lot of fisher to be had here. So we're going to get this taken care of and get moving, because it's starting to get dark and we have more sets to check. Hopefully we'll have a coyote somewhere. Never thought I'd be saying that before, but we should have another coyote.
North American Trapper Predation Packages. Get any one of our specific trapping packages that has been ultimately designed to help you become the master predation controller of your farm, ranch, or hunting lease. Control the predators that are costing you time and money, and get out there trapping today with one of our North American Trapper Predation boxes. All of the packages come with the trapping essentials to get you out in the field, plus an instructional DVD that will show you the way. Visit us at NorthAmericanTrapper.com and start breaking dirt today.
Welcome back to Duke Trap's presentation of North American Trapper with Alan Probst.
Well, we're up here in the Adirondacks, and I'm putting in a Fisher set here. This is a hollow tree. It's got, back in here a ways. This is a natural cubby, and I'm just going to build a place right here to put my trap. And it's probably going to sit real nice right there at the front edge of that. I'm going to use a 1.5 double jaw Duke here with a heavy duty ground talon. There's not much to make in this set, but we have this really nice rock wall right here, and these fishers are going to hunt this rock wall, and we're going to be right in their line of travel. And they know this is here, and that's one of the things I wanted to mention. When you're out there in the woods, when you make a disturbance or anything of that nature, you're in that animal's backyard, and if there's a fisher running down through here, and this is all cleaned out like I have it right now, they're going to notice that. And it's just like if you're making a coyote set or any set that you're making, that's their home. They're going to be aware of all those different disturbances, so just making some disturbance here is going to catch the eye of any fisher that's running on this wall hunting. But we're going to get this stake in the ground, and then we're going to get our trap bedded in there properly. Got that ground talon in there, give it a pull, set it right there. Make sure they can't pull that out. And then we're just going to put this trap right here, garden this hole, and I'm going to use some of this moss and dirt that I dug up here, and that's going to bed that trap in there as good as I can. As I've said, whether it's canine trapping or coon trapping in water, it doesn't matter. You want to do as good as you can bedding that trap, so if they step anywhere, there's no movement whatsoever. That trap's in there pretty good. Cover that up. And when they come up through here and work up over there, that's right where we want it, right there. Got that covered up good. There's not much else we're going to have to do with this set. We got our disturbance here, and what we're using for bait is actually a whole muskrat that we caught. And I'm going to shove that muskrat up in this hole. Just kind of put that in there, and then I'm going to top it off with a little bit of our Madness lure, which has really good skunk essence odor, and that's going to be something that's going to work out of that hole. And if they don't see the disturbance and they're downwind, they're going to smell it. So we got that there, throw that up in there, and we're good. That's really all there is to putting a cubby set in. This is a natural cubby here with that hollow tree, and I like these type of sets. Using muskrat for bait and a little bit of our Madness lure, but just a nice thoroughfare here. I think this is probably one of the places that I was with Johnny Thorpe back in the day when I was filming a lot of his stuff, and it's bringing back a lot of memories. But hopefully we'll come in here and have something to show you.
Let's take a look at the North American Trapper Product Spotlight.
Well, this week I wanted to talk to you about our Coon Buster bait. Our Coon Buster is a bunch of different ingredients that we put in and we soak it with crawfish oil. And it gives off a really good crawfish scent. Now, one thing that it can be used for, it can be used in cage traps where you put it back by the pan to lure that animal in. But we, use it in our DP sets. And you're going to take about a tablespoonful of the Coon Buster, put that in to where it's just under the trigger in a DP. And then we're also taking our magnet trailing scent and we're using that around the lip of the trap and then using it as a trailing scent to work them in there to where they get down through there, reach down in, and they're there when you go in the next morning. But this is a really good system for everybody that's out there. If you need to catch raccoons and you're having problems with them on your farm, your lease, your ranch, it doesn't matter. This is going to be a good setup for you. Get some of these Duke dog proofs, use our Coon Buster with our magnet, and you're going to definitely put up some numbers of coon and take some pressure off of your ground nesting birds. So if you get an opportunity, go to our website, North American Trapper, and check out our Coon Buster and our magnet along with the Duke dog proofs, and you're going to be successful as a coon trapper as well.
Handling nest raiders is our specialty, and you can become the steward of your own land with our North American Trapper scent package, which includes our Coon Buster DP bait and magnet trailing scent. Our sweet-scented trailer will draw them in where our Coon Buster will then take over, and its soaked crawfish essence will entice those nest raiders to work the trap consistently. Look no further than our North American Trapper Combo scent package for all your predation control needs. North American Trapper. Proven products. Proven conservation.
Welcome back to Duke Trap's presentation of North American Trapper with Alan Probst.
We got ourselves another fisher. That trap just hit him just right. He didn't struggle too much or move too much. He's right there. That trap kept him there. Put this down, get a better look at him. Alrighty. All right. That looks like, yep, it's a nice little female fisher. Really nice. Nice female fisher. Caught in a 220 Duke. Yeah. So, it's a beautiful day out here and we're lucky to catch him. It's a kind of warm, but he looks pretty good. I guess that trap hit him hard on the head there. We'll get this taken care of and try to set it. Again, these running poles on a 45-degree angle, that's where you want to be when you're making these sets. Right here. I'm in a cedar forest. Cedar trees are great. Fisher love to go in there because it's dark. I got a little skunk entrance and I got my chunk of beaver meat. And they like beaver. Everything likes beaver meat. So, yeah, this is a good one. Beautiful fur. Look at that. Silky. There was a time that would bring $200. I hope today I get $25 for it. I'd say she's well primed. Nice healthy fur. Yeah, we'll take it. Using a 220 Duke. Make sure I got my safeties on. Alright, so we got it set there. Like I said before, when you pull these springs down, make sure you're standing behind the running pole so it doesn't spring forward and hit you. Make sure to take off your safety hooks. That. And that thing is stable. So then comes the fun part. I love doing this part, camouflaging it, making my little cubby over it. This set will take fisher, it'll take martin, anything that wants to come up off that tree. We're about 4 foot from the ground, not too far up, so a big male fisher won't be afraid to climb that tree to get it. And we'll hopefully get another one here soon. Season's still open, a few more weeks. That is the finished set. We have our 220 set on our 45-degree angle cedar pole here in the cedar forest. We got our beaver meat. We have our skunk essence. The trap is ready to go. So with a little luck, we'll take another fisher here. It's not uncommon to take one or more fisher at a running pole in a season. So we'll see how we are. Again, we got the stabilizer, KB stabilizers. They're great. That's it. We're just wrapping up here for the day. It's getting, the days are shorter now. We got 3 nice fisher. 2 of them we took in a running pole, and the other one we got in a dirt hole. Just wanted to show you the difference in the colors. These are 2 males. This is a female. That's a really nice fisher right there. This is a nice big one. Just caught him. And it's not hard to catch. See, sometimes you have to go back in the bush, and running poles do work if you follow the instructions that I was giving out there, talking about the right angle, the right size trap, and good fresh bait. And we're here in the beautiful hemlock forest. It's good country, and I wish you all the luck in the world trapping. I mean, back in the day there, we'd get like 25, 30 in a season, you know, when they were worth a lot of money. Now, you know, I'm not pushing that hard to catch that many, just a few here and there. But they're out there. There's a lot of fisher.
Well, that's the end of the show today. As you can see, those Fishercats are awesome, and they're just a cool critter. And, you know, their teeth, the fangs, it's just, I just really, really enjoy going after them, and I hope you enjoyed this show as well. The methods and techniques we showed you, if you have fishers in your area, you're going to catch them with that. And even if the snow falls, you just make your set in the snow, they're going to be out there working, and ultimately you're helping out some turkeys, and you're saving some ground nesting birds when you take these out of the equation. And it's just awesome when I can get back up there to the Adirondacks. As you can see, it's just beautiful. And if you need any products, make sure you stop by NorthAmericanTrapper.com. We got everything you're probably going to need when it comes to traps, baits, lures, equipment to help you be successful next time you're out in the field. Proven products equals proven conservation, and we'll